Listen to me right now. The world doesn't need another person who blends in, who follows the crowd, who plays it safe. The world needs you, someone who is willing to be different, to rise above, to challenge the status quo. I'm talking about being that guy, the one who stands out, the one who others look to for inspiration, the one who doesn't just follow trends but sets them, the one who becomes the change he wants to see in the world. Here's the deal. Most people will go through life in autopilot mode, drifting through another year just like the last. They'll talk about their goals, their dreams, but they'll never take the action to make them a reality. But not you. Not this year. You have a choice to make, right now, to decide whether you're going to keep playing small, or whether you're going to rise up and claim your greatness. Don't let the noise of the world distract you from what matters. Don't let fear, doubt, or past failures keep you from becoming that person who makes waves, who takes bold action, who is relentless in their pursuit of excellence. If you want to be that guy in 2025, then start today. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the right moment, because guess what? It's never coming. The time is now. The world is full of noise, distractions, and excuses, but you have the power to shut all of that out and focus on your vision. Only you can decide what you're going to do with the next 365 days. Are you going to sit back and watch everyone else chase their dreams? Or are you going to be the one others watch because you took massive, consistent action toward your own? This is your opportunity to rise above mediocrity. There are millions of people just like you. Dreamers, thinkers, planners. But few are willing to put in the work to make their dreams come alive. Those who do, who dare to step up, who dare to be different, they change the world. And guess what? The difference between them and everyone else is simply a decision. A decision to act, to push through the discomfort, to break free of their old habits, and to show up day after day, no matter what. Being that guy in 2025 means you take full ownership of your decisions. Every decision you make has the power to either propel you forward or hold you back. So when the opportunity comes, and it will come, you've got to be ready to take it, own it, and make it count. It's about showing up for yourself, even when no one else believes in you. It's about having the courage to say, I am worth it, even when it feels hard, even when others tell you to wait, to settle, to play it safe. Let me tell you something about adversity. It's not here to break you, it's here to build you. The struggles, the obstacles, they're your training ground. The things that you face head-on will refine you, strengthen you, and prepare you for the success that's waiting for you. Every challenge is an opportunity for you to grow, for you to prove to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws your way. Because once you've faced the hardest battles, everything else feels easy. So don't run from adversity. Lean into it. That's how you become unstoppable. And finally, you have to create an unstoppable mindset. That's where it all starts. Your mindset determines your outcome. The way you think, the way you see the world, the way you view yourself, it all plays a part in shaping your reality. If you want to be that guy in 2025, you have to start by thinking differently. Focus on what you can control, not what's out of your reach. Develop the discipline to stay committed when things get tough, the resilience to bounce back from failure, and the determination to keep pushing forward no matter the odds. This year is yours. You are not waiting for the world to change. You're the one who's going to change it. Be that guy. Be the one who leads by example, who inspires others to rise with you, who turns their vision into action. When 2025 comes to an end, make sure you can look back and say, I did it. I didn't just dream about it. I became it. Are you ready? Most people live their lives trapped in a cycle of mediocrity, and the saddest part is, they don't even realize it. They wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, scroll through their phones, go to bed, and repeat the same cycle day after day, year after year. They tell themselves they'll change. They'll go after their dreams. Someday. But someday never comes. Why? Because they've settled. They've accepted the idea that this is just how life is, that they don't have what it takes to be great. That success is for other people, the lucky ones, the talented ones, the chosen ones. And that is the biggest lie they'll ever believe. I've seen people with all the potential in the world, sharp minds, incredible ideas, big dreams, who never do anything with them. Not because they aren't capable, but because they've built walls around themselves made of excuses, fear, and self-doubt. And the worst part? They don't even question it. They tell themselves it's just the way things are. They believe they're too old, too young, too broke, too busy, or too inexperienced to do something extraordinary. So, They stay stuck. They watch from the sidelines as other people no smarter, no more talented, and no more gifted than they are, go on to do incredible things. And deep down, they feel that sting, that whisper in the back of their minds saying, that could have been me. But here's the truth. It could have been them. And it can be you. But only if you're willing to break free from the gravitational pull of mediocrity. Because mediocrity is like quicksand. It doesn't pull you down all at once. It happens slowly. It happens when you hit the snooze button one more time instead of getting up to work on your goals. It happens when you tell yourself you'll start next Monday, then next month, then next year. It happens when you surround yourself with people who are comfortable being average and make you feel guilty for wanting more. It happens when you let your fears dictate your choices instead of your vision. But here's what separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. A decision. A decision to demand more from yourself. A decision to stop settling for good enough. A decision to stop making excuses and start taking action. Because the only way to break through to greatness is to make the uncomfortable choice, again and again, until it becomes who you are. I know what you're thinking. It's not that easy. And you're right. It's not easy. But neither is living a life of regret. Neither is waking up 10 years from now in the same place, wondering what could have been. You have to choose your hard. And the truth is, the hard road, the one that leads to success, impact and fulfillment, is the one worth taking. Look at anyone who has achieved greatness. They weren't born different. They weren't given some secret formula. They simply refused to settle. They refused to accept average as their destiny. They were willing to sacrifice their comfort for something greater. They woke up earlier. They stayed up later. They put in the work when nobody was watching. They embraced failure as part of the process instead of letting it define them. And that's the difference. That's what separates the best from the rest. Not talent, not luck, not a golden opportunity falling into their laps, but an unshakable, relentless mindset that says, I will not stop until I make this happen. I remember a guy who had every reason to give up. He came from nothing. No money, no connections, no special skills. He worked long hours at a dead-end job just to scrape by. Every night, he was exhausted. Every morning, he questioned whether chasing his dream was even worth it. But there was something inside him that wouldn't let him quit. A fire. A belief that he was meant for more. So he kept going. He learned. He failed. He got back up. He failed again. He worked when nobody believed in him. When his friends told him to be realistic. When his family thought he was wasting his time. And eventually, he broke through. He built a business. He created a life most people only dream of. Not because he was special, but because he made a choice. You have the same choice in front of you right now. But here's the catch. Most people won't take it. Most people will hear this and feel inspired for a moment, but then they'll go back to the same habits, the same routines, the same limiting beliefs. They'll go back to mediocrity, not because they want to, but because it's familiar, because it's comfortable. And comfort is the silent killer of potential. If you want to break out of mediocrity, you have to make discomfort your new normal. You have to be willing to do what others won't. To outwork, outlast, and outthink everyone around you. To wake up earlier. To train harder. To take risks. To push yourself past the point where others would quit. And you have to stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Because you'll never feel ready. Nobody does. The people who win in life aren't the ones who had it all figured out from day one. They're the ones who started before they felt ready. Who took the first step even when they were scared. There will be days when you doubt yourself. When you wonder if you're good enough. When everything in you screams to quit. But that's the moment where your breakthrough happens. If you keep pushing. If you refuse to let the voices of doubt win. If you remember that greatness isn't something you're born with, it's something you build, one choice, one action, one relentless step at a time. So ask yourself, are you going to be one of the many who settle for average? Or are you going to be one of the few who break through? Are you going to let another year slip by? Or are you going to make the decision, right now, to demand more from yourself? This is your time. This is your moment. The choice is yours. Every single day, you are making choices that are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. From the moment you wake up to the second you fall asleep, you are faced with decisions, big and small, that are determining the direction of your life. The problem is, most people don't even recognize the power they have. They drift through life, reacting instead of deciding, waiting for circumstances to improve instead of taking control. They let fear, doubt, and outside influences dictate their path, and then they wonder why they aren't where they want to be. But here's the truth. Your life right now is a direct result of the choices you've made up to this point. And if you want a different future, you have to start making different choices. There are two types of people in this world: those who own their decisions and those who let life make their decisions for them. The first group understands that everything they do, every action they take, every habit they form, every belief they choose to accept, determines where they end up. The second group blames circumstances. They blame their past. They blame other people. They tell themselves they have no control, that life is unfair, that the odds are stacked against them. And as long as they hold on to that belief, they stay stuck. Because the moment you give up ownership of your choices, you give up control of your life. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what happened to you in the past. What matters is what you decide to do next. You can either stay where you are, making the same choices and getting the same results, or you can decide, right now, that things are going to change. And that change doesn't start with luck, talent, or some magical opportunity falling into your lap. It starts with you taking responsibility. Look at the most successful people in the world. They didn't get there by accident. They didn't wait for someone to hand them their dreams. They made the tough choices. They sacrificed. They stayed disciplined. They said no to distractions and yes to opportunities. They failed, learned, adjusted, and kept moving forward. And the only difference between them and everyone else is that they owned their decisions, even when it was hard. The truth is, most people aren't willing to do that. They let excuses run their lives. They say they want success, but their choices don't align with their words. They choose comfort over growth. They choose instant gratification over long-term success. They choose to listen to their fears instead of their potential, and then they wonder why they never reach their goals. Every time you make a choice, you are casting a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. When you decide to wake up early instead of sleeping in, you're voting for discipline. When you choose to work on your goals instead of wasting hours on social media, you're voting for progress. When you take responsibility instead of making excuses, you're voting for success. And over time, those votes add up. They create momentum. They shape your identity. They determine whether you stay stuck or rise to your full potential. But here's the catch. Owning your decisions isn't always easy. It means taking responsibility for your failures as much as your successes. It means admitting when you've made mistakes and having the courage to fix them. It means looking in the mirror and realizing that if your life isn't where you want it to be, you're the one who has to change. There will be times when you feel like blaming something or someone else. When things go wrong, it's tempting to point the finger, to say it's because of the economy, because of your past, because of what someone else did to you. But the moment you do that, you give away your power. Because as long as you believe something outside of you is in control, you will never take the actions necessary to change your life. Successful people see things differently. They don't blame, they adapt. They don't dwell on what went wrong. They focus on what they can do next. They don't wait for permission. They take action. And that's why they win. Because they understand that no matter what happens, they always have a choice. They can choose how they react. They can choose to learn. They can choose to keep moving forward. Think about the most important decisions you've made in your life. The ones that shaped who you are today. Maybe it was the decision to walk away from something that wasn't serving you. Maybe it was the decision to take a risk when everyone told you to play it safe. Maybe it was the decision to believe in yourself when no one else did. Those moments, those choices, are what define you. And every single day, you have another opportunity to make a new decision. The key is to start making choices that align with the person you want to become. If you want to be strong, make the choice to train your body and mind. If you want to be successful, make the choice to outwork and outlearn everyone around you. If you want to be financially free, make the choice to manage your money wisely and invest in your future. And if you want to be happy, make the choice to let go of negativity and focus on what truly matters. Every time you make a decision, ask yourself, is this choice moving me closer to my goals, or is it holding me back? Is this choice making me stronger, or is it keeping me the same? Because there is no neutral. Every decision is either building you up or breaking you down. And the more intentional you become with your choices, the more control you gain over your life. It all starts with one decision. One moment where you stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop letting life push you around, and instead, step up and take control. Because your future isn't written yet. Your story isn't finished. And no matter where you are right now, you have the power to change everything, starting with the choices you make today. There will come a time when life hits you harder than you ever thought possible. A time when everything seems to be falling apart, when nothing makes sense, when you feel like you're standing at the edge of a cliff, staring into the unknown. In that moment, you will have a choice. You can let adversity break you, define you, and hold you down, or you can rise. You can use every setback, every failure, every painful experience as fuel to become stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than you've ever been. Because the truth is, nothing shapes you like adversity. Nothing builds you like struggle. Nothing forges character, discipline, and resilience like the moments when you feel like you have nothing left to give, but keep going anyway. Most people fear adversity. They avoid discomfort. They run from struggle. But the very thing they are running from is the one thing that has the power to transform them. Look at anyone who has ever done something great, and you will see someone who has been through hell and back. You will see someone who was doubted, rejected, knocked down, and counted out, but refused to stay down. You will see someone who turned pain into purpose, who used their darkest moments as a launching pad to their greatest victories. Because that's how growth works. It doesn't happen when things are easy. It doesn't happen when everything is comfortable and predictable. Growth happens in the fire. It happens when life pushes you to your limits and forces you to find out what you're truly capable of. It happens when you face a storm and instead of running for cover, you walk straight through it, knowing that on the other side, you will be stronger than ever before. Pain is life's greatest teacher. It reveals who you really are. It strips away the excuses, the distractions, the things that don't matter, and forces you to dig deep. It forces you to make a choice, to give up or to grow. And those who grow are the ones who refuse to be victims of their circumstances. They are the ones who take every loss, every heartbreak, every obstacle, and turn it into an opportunity to become better. Think about a time in your life when you faced something you thought you wouldn't survive. A time when you felt lost, broken, and defeated. Now think about who you became because of it. Maybe it made you stronger. Maybe it taught you a lesson you wouldn't have learned any other way. Maybe it forced you to let go of something or someone that was holding you back. Maybe it pushed you to prove to yourself just how powerful you really are. And if you look back, you'll realize that what you once saw as your biggest struggle was actually one of your greatest blessings in disguise. The strongest people in the world aren't the ones who have had it easy. They're the ones who have been tested, who have fallen and risen over and over again. They're the ones who have been through pain so deep that it could have destroyed them, but instead, they let it shape them. They're the ones who have walked through the fire and come out on the other side unbreakable. Adversity is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. It is the thing that separates those who are merely interested in success from those who are truly committed. Anyone can stay motivated when things are going well. Anyone can keep pushing forward when the path is clear. But it's what you do when everything goes wrong that determines who you really are. It's how you respond when life knocks you to your knees that shows whether you have what it takes to win. Most people quit the moment things get hard. They see failure as a sign to stop. They see rejection as proof that they aren't good enough. They let their circumstances dictate their potential. But the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who embrace adversity instead of fearing it, those are the ones who go on to achieve greatness. Because adversity is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the process of becoming. Every time you struggle, every time you are tested, you are being given an opportunity to grow into the person you were meant to be. And the ones who understand this, the ones who stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" they are the ones who will rise above. The truth is, the struggle you are facing right now is not here to destroy you. It is here to build you. It is here to strengthen you in ways you never imagined. It is here to prepare you for the things you've been asking for. Because you don't get to the next level without being tested. You don't become great without walking through the fire. The pain you feel today will be the strength you rely on tomorrow. The failures you experience now will be the wisdom you carry with you for the rest of your life. The challenges that seem unbearable in this moment will one day be the reason you succeed. Because every setback is a setup for something greater. Every struggle is an opportunity to rise. So the next time life knocks you down, don't see it as a sign to quit. See it as a sign to fight harder. See it as proof that you are being prepared for something bigger. See it as the training ground for the person you are becoming. Because nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing truly great is built without adversity. Broken you. And if you're still standing, if you're still fighting, that means you are stronger than you realize. That means you have everything it takes to overcome whatever comes next. That means you are unstoppable, as long as you refuse to give up. So embrace adversity. Welcome the struggle. Face every challenge with the confidence that it is shaping you into the person you were meant to become. Because on the other side of every battle, there is a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever thought possible. And that version of you is waiting. Everything you want in life begins in your mind. Every success, every breakthrough, every moment of greatness, it all starts with the way you think. Because your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. It will either push you to rise above every obstacle, or it will convince you to quit the moment things get hard. And the difference between those who succeed and those who fall short is not talent, luck, or resources. It's mindset. It's the ability to stay locked in, unshaken, and unbreakable no matter what stands in the way. It's the ability to keep going when everything around you is telling you to stop. It's the decision to be relentless, to be disciplined, to be unstoppable. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they let distractions control them. They let fear control them. They let other people's opinions control them. They start strong, but when adversity hits, they back down. They start doubting themselves, questioning whether they have what it takes. But those who win, they don't have time for doubt. They don't waste energy worrying about things they can't control. They don't give up when things don't go their way. They make a decision, a real decision, to be unstoppable, and then they back it up with action, day after day, no matter what. It all comes down to resilience. Because no matter how talented you are, no matter how much potential you have, life is going to test you. It's going to throw obstacles in your way, challenge your discipline, and push you to the edge. And when that happens, you have two choices: break or breakthrough. Most people break because they let their emotions dictate their actions. They let frustration, disappointment, and setbacks convince them to quit. But the ones who keep going, they have trained their minds to see challenges as opportunities. They don't complain, they adjust. They don't run, they rise. They don't wait to feel motivated. They show up and do the work whether they feel like it or not. Because here's the truth: there is no secret formula for success. There is no shortcut. It all comes down to how badly you want it. It comes down to whether or not you're willing to do what most people won't. To push through when it's hard. To stay focused when distractions are everywhere. To get back up every single time you fall. And that's where most people fail. They want the results, but they don't want the process. They want the reward, but they don't want the struggle. They want to be great, but they don't want to go through the fire that greatness requires. That's why mindset is everything. Because the moment you truly commit, mentally, emotionally, and physically, you become dangerous. You stop making excuses. You stop looking for reasons why you can't and start finding ways to make it happen. You stop playing small, and you start demanding more from yourself. You develop an inner toughness that nothing can shake. And when that happens, you become unstoppable. Not because things get easier, but because you get stronger. The real battle is not in the external world. It's not in the competition, the economy, or the circumstances you're facing. The real battle is in your mind. It's in your ability to stay locked in on your vision when distractions try to pull you off course. It's in your ability to stay disciplined when everything in you wants to take the easy way out. It's in your ability to keep believing in yourself when no one else does. That is what separates the winners from everyone else. Most people never reach their full potential because they let their focus slip. They let outside noise distract them. They allow negativity to take up space in their minds. They worry about things they can't control instead of taking full responsibility for the things they can. They chase every little dopamine hit instead of doing the hard, disciplined work that leads to real results. And then they wonder why they never get to where they want to be. But the ones who dominate, those who truly succeed at the highest level, they understand the power of focus. They don't allow meaningless distractions to steal their time. They don't entertain self-doubt, fear, or hesitation. They don't wait for the right moment. They create it. Your future is being built right now, in the choices you make every single day. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your mindset. If you train yourself to think like a champion, to stay disciplined, to stay focused, to refuse to give in no matter how hard it gets, there is nothing you can't achieve. But it starts with the decision to stop allowing your emotions, your circumstances, and other people to dictate your path. It starts with the decision to take full control of your mind, your actions, and your destiny. Nothing will be given to you. Nothing will just fall into place. If you want something, you have to be willing to go after it with everything you have. You have to be willing to fight for it, to sacrifice for it, to push past your limits for it. That's what it takes. And if you truly commit to that level, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to wake you up in the morning, push you to work harder, or force you to chase your dreams. That's on you. You are the one who has to decide, once and for all, that nothing, no failure, no setback, no distraction, is going to stop you from becoming the person you were meant to be. Because at the end of the day, there are two types of people in this world: those who talk about what they want and those who go out and make it happen. The question is, which one are you? Are you going to sit back and watch others build the life you wish you had? Or are you going to step up, take control, and make the sacrifices necessary to turn your dreams into reality? Because let me tell you something, this world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care how unfair life has been. What it does care about is results. What it does reward is relentless effort. And if you're willing to put in the work, to stay focused, to fight through the pain, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. Success isn't reserved for the lucky. It's not just for the gifted or the privileged. It's for the ones who refuse to quit. It's for the ones who get up, no matter how many times they fall. It's for the ones who are willing to suffer through the grind, the failures, the doubt, and keep pushing forward. Because no one remembers the people who almost made it. No one tells stories about the ones who gave up when things got tough. The ones who are remembered, the ones who leave a legacy, are the ones who never stopped swinging, never stopped fighting, never backed down. There's a fire inside of you, a potential greater than you've ever imagined. But that fire will only burn as bright as you allow it to. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, it grows stronger. Every time you silence the doubt and take action anyway, it grows stronger. Every time you refuse to let failure define you, that fire turns into an unstoppable force. But it's up to you to protect it. It's up to you to feed it. It's up to you to decide that no matter what obstacles come your way, you will not break. You will not fold. You will not be stopped. You want to be great? Then act like it. Train like it. Work like it. Speak like it. Think like it. Because champions don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't hope things will get easier. They don't look for a way out when the pressure builds. They embrace the struggle. They take every setback, every failure, every ounce of pain and turn it into fuel. It's not supposed to be easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. If it were easy, greatness wouldn't mean anything. The struggle is what makes it valuable. The adversity is what makes it worth it. So don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Because on the other side of that difficulty, on the other side of that pain, is everything you've ever wanted. If you've ever felt like you weren't good enough, if you've ever been doubted, underestimated, or counted out, good. Use it. Let it drive you. Let it push you. Because the greatest revenge is massive success. The greatest way to silence the doubters is to become undeniable. The greatest way to prove yourself is through action. Remember this. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. That's what defines a champion. That's what separates the weak from the strong. That's what determines whether you'll look back on your life with pride or regret. Because there will be a day when you look in the mirror, and you'll either see someone who gave up when it got hard or someone who fought for everything they ever wanted. And that choice is made right now. You have one life, one shot, one chance to create the future you want. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop letting fear control you. Make the decision right here, right now, that no matter what happens, no matter how many times you fall, you will never stop moving forward. Because once you make that decision, once you commit with everything you have, you become unstoppable.